On average, Bomani Jones is losing 80% of his lead-in viewership, which is coming from John Oliver. And there is no way that they can justify on HBO an audience that did 44,000 viewers for one episode of the program. And this show, which is pretty wild, is the first season is ending evidently on Sunday. This is according to Bobby Barack. I didn't have any idea. And what's interesting is, remember when Bill Simmons had his HBO show back in 2016? Bill Simmons, love him or hate him, got completely crushed over the number of people that watched his HBO show. Any given Wednesday were not good, but Washington Post said Bill Simmons' HBO shows hit rock bottom. The USA Today said there is no reason to keep basically this show alive. 5 reasons why Bill Simmons' Any Given Wednesday tanked, said The Wrap. Awful announcing. They said the show ratings aren't pretty. Bill Simmons' HBO show totally destroyed Bomani Jones's HBO show, both of them doing a sports show. Yet other than Outkick, virtually no media outlet has even covered the disaster that is Bomani Jones's HBO show ratings. So, why do you think that is? Why did Bill Simmons get totally and completely destroyed for his ratings on HBO when his show was wildly more popular and wildly more influential than Bomani Jones's? Why is it that Simmons was held to a high standard and Jones was held to a low standard? It's the same reason Bomani Jones has gotten all the shows that he's ever gotten. He got a radio show at ESPN nationwide. It's the least successful radio show ESPN's ever had. They had to cancel him in order to avoid losing more affiliates. No show had ever lost more affiliates. They gave him a daily television show. It was a disaster. No one watched it. Then HBO gives him a show. It's also a disaster. No one watches it. No one in sports media history has ever failed more and been rewarded more than Bomani Jones and criticized less. Why is that? Because media is afraid if they criticize Bomani Jones, they will be called racist. They can tee off on Bill Simmons, even though he's far more successful than Bomani Jones could ever imagine or dream of being. And they didn't have to worry about any of the criticism. It was a free ride for USA Today, for the Washington Post, for all these different media outlets, the New York Times, to absolutely criticize Bill Simmons. But they won't utter a word about Bomani Jones. And one of the things that's fascinating here is, and I think it's entirely race-based, people get mad because at Outkick, we apply the same standards across the board. If you are going to, and we wrote about Bill Simmons' ratings back in the day at Outkick, if you're going to criticize the amount of viewership for Bill Simmons, then you have to also criticize the amount of viewership for Bomani Jones when it's way less than what Bill Simmons has produced. Almost no one else in media will do this. Why? Because the amount of dishonesty that exists in the media, of unfair treatment, is legion. It is incredible how many people will not treat like situations the same because they are afraid of being called racist if they criticize Bomani Jones' disaster of a show.